The financial system is at risk. The regulatory agencies have once again looked the other way. They have stepped aside while megacorporations have ballooned up, far beyond our imagination. All the while, the middle class has been evaporated, erased into the pages of history. You came here for the truth, so let me unveil that for you. Today, we are going to look at several economic indicators. I do believe that this is critical in connecting it with the average person. All of the statistics are just numbers and figures, but how they affect people is truly important. So I'm going to show you several statistics today, and I will always be looking at this, not just America, but the whole world. All right. First, I want to continue to track the progress of Deutsche Bank. This company here has been hemorrhaging over the last little while. I have been bringing the coverage out on it, and now it has dipped below €9. This stock has continued to fall further and further. Here they're showing how it is directly correlated to Lehman, but of course I don't believe that this stock is going to end up exactly the way that Lehman did. We have the ECB currently bailing out this company along with so many other companies, huge list. UBS brought out the list, I showed it to you. So they're already bailing it out. But they will need to do something special for this company. They have been using their CSPP program in order to buy up the corporate debt of these companies that would be much, much worse off. There would be a complete recession admitted by the governments, but instead, what we have is a declining stock. It's not working out, so they will have to step in to do something, the central bank or Germany itself. All right, moving on. Looking at crude oil, we can see this right here. The WTI is around that $74 a barrel mark. The Brent is around $79 a barrel mark. I do believe that this could be an issue should we get to that $100 a barrel mark. Crude oil rising generally correlates to recessions if it rises too high. Now, in the process of it rising throughout this period, you get the exporting nations benefiting from it. Definitely. The revenues increase, they're making money, hopefully they're diversifying. All right, now you have this case, but what does that mean for, number one, the traders? They're making a killing all the way up and all the way down. If it's stagnant, they're not making a lot of money. But if it's going up, going down, they're making that profit. Okay, so we have that. Then we have the issues where transportation costs will rise as a result. If transportation costs rise, they pass that down the line. So for example, if they're transporting food, suddenly we have this, increased prices that you'll see. It might just be, let's say, 5%, 10%, but that adds up. What people have to pay is already too much. They're financing their lives with debt. So let's get into this. The gap between the real disposable income and the cost of living. Here we have a chart. I've shown you something similar before. Consumer credit per capita has risen. You will see the gap between the real disposable personal income and the cost of living here. And we have what they call fill in the gap. Okay, essentially what I believe is that individuals have been buying their homes, their cars, their vacations, their iPhones, and so on, all with debt. And they've financed their own reality. And I do believe that that's okay for somebody to do. There's nothing really wrong with that. However, when I look at this, I have to think to myself, is it sustainable? And of course, the answer is no. Debt is not sustainable. During 2008, leading up to that moment, we saw maximum levels of debt. People were using their credit cards. They're buying homes after homes. Of course, we saw what happened with that. And then we have this issue where there was a deleveraging after. This deleveraging almost collapsed the entire global financial system. But it didn't take too long. Central banks came in, saved the day. They printed trillions of dollars, got the markets to move again, and people started spending because they saw that everything was okay. Less people were getting fired now. Okay, I can max out my credit card again. But this is unfortunately going to have to come to an end. There's only so far it can be pushed. It does have a ceiling. Where that ceiling is, we only know by looking back in the pages of history. Stocks have priced in twice the rate of growth of earnings per share. So we have these companies that are doing extraordinarily well at this time, in particular the FANG Plus stocks. So you look at their PE ratios, you look at all their statistics, and they're out of whack right now. Here they have shown, on average, priced in twice the rate of earnings per share. This is something that doesn't mean anything while there's euphoria, but suddenly a time will come where we look back and think, oh wow, things were really crazy back then. That's what they did in 2008. That's what they did in 2000. They didn't see it at the time. But of course, it's only a matter of time. Economic prosperity has never been so poor. On the right-hand side, $33 trillion in bailouts and support. And all you got was this. You can see the blue line is the 5-year average wage growth. And it has been dismal. We have seen individuals that, this is showing us, I would say about 3.5%. 3.5% here. At 3.5%, I really don't think that most people see that kind of wage growth. This is a total average. But if you look, a lot of people, they don't get any wage increases as time goes on. They say, look, be happy you have a job. Or the economy's not doing good, or our business isn't doing well right now, so we can't afford to give you a raise this year. We will do so next year. We've all heard that one before. Well, this line here shows us the real GDP wage growth. And that is right now declining throughout 2008 period of time. Then it came around and supposedly right here just above 2%. I would say that's even very, very modest, let's say. I think it's a lot lower than that in reality. But the average individual doesn't ever see the benefits of all of these companies out there that are doing so well. Look at this. U3 and the participation rate adjusted U3. I've been criticized many times before for refusing to believe the U3 statistic. How many people believe the U3 statistic is actually accurate? I think it's quite silly. If you just read what it is, it's not a true, it's not an accurate depiction of the unemployment rate. When you have people who have been looking for work for 1 year, they are wiped off the statistic. As far as I'm concerned, that's not accurate. Now, this right here is the participation rate adjusted U3. Looks like it's around 9%. I think that that's more accurate. Then you have other indicators out there like Shadow Stats, which shows us another one, which is significantly higher than this. But look, I'd even take 9%. 9% is much more accurate than the fake U3 statistics. So we have a lot of people who are unemployed. We have a lot of people who are underemployed, people using part-time work, temporary work. They're getting what they can. And of course, we have the statistics that are extremely skewed because people take on 2 and 3 jobs. Annual change in real wages are not keeping up with real inflation. Very, very clear to me that these statistics are skewed in such a way to benefit those who use it. So basically the mainstream media, the financial companies, and so on. Corporate profits before tax. What I'm seeing here today is that we have trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars that have been printed into the system. Yet, corporate profits have been basically stagnant. Why? Why is that the case? This is very, very troublesome. These companies have been buying back their own shares, billions of dollars every single year. They have been engaging in every possible single method of boosting stock prices, and yet corporate profits still have been rather stagnant. This right here is showing us the US working population age 85 and older has been increasing. A lot of people will say, well, I want to be working, but that's not necessarily the case for many people. They don't want to work, but they have to work in order to be able to live because their Social Security, their different types of old age pensions are not enough to support their life. And I'm sure they're not living very lavishly. It's just a case of things being too expensive. Where financial inequality is rampant, that's very, very evident here in the United States, more so than any other country. The Netherlands, my friends in Amsterdam, look at this. And going all the way down, we have Denmark, Germany, and Canada as well. But it is a huge difference in between the rate of 51% to 79%. However, I would suggest that it's evident everywhere, no matter where you look. All right, now to switch gears, just to almost finish the video here, I wanted to show you this. I thought it was very strange. Smart technology sees through walls to track and identify people. It's using radio frequencies, and they can actually see beyond the wall to get an idea of where the people are. And as you can see, it's not exactly, a complete X-ray vision, but using radio frequency to tell exactly where somebody is. That is, some science fiction stuff. And then last but not least, this. If we have robotics and automation taking over the jobs, where does that leave all of these educated individuals? Well, this is a particular job posting from SSRN. Okay, I'm not familiar with the organization, but it describes them here. And this here shows us compensation, $15 an hour. Academic degree, PhD, strongly preferred for $15 an hour. That's the value of our education system today. That somebody with a PhD is getting paid $15 an hour. I don't know if any PhDs are going to apply for the job, but that's the territory we are heading into. So I'll leave you with that. If you found the video informative, please give me a thumbs up. When you give me a thumbs up, it helps to support this channel, so I do appreciate that very much. And if you want the financial education that was not taught to you in schools, these 2 books have it all. So you can get that and in the links in the description. And if you're more interested in the audiobook version, you can get that at themoneygps.com.